Thanks for joining us for another fantasy game plan. We have Pernsky in the house. Guess who's back, Joey? Joey D's back in the house. And I can't forget my director right here. Hey, we have no Redskin report this week, but just taking us back 1 week, the Redskins get off the schneid and get a win against the Raiders. So I tell you, for a lot of you fantasy guys, Alfred Morris got injured in that game, and you got to keep an eye out for him. What do you guys think about?
Well, I tell you, it was good to see the Redskins win. Let's just say 7 sacks we got after the quarterback. It was nice to see the defense step up, down 14-0, and literally I'm ready to put a brown paper bag over my head. And I was pretty ashamed, but I'll give them credit. 24 unanswered points. Right. Defense looked good. RG3 starting to get a little swag back. I think Alfred Morris will be back next week. It was just nice to get a win, unlike the New York Football Giants.
Of course, I am wearing that brown bag, Perns. But going back to Alfred Morris, only a rib contusion, like Pern said. He'll be back. But you got to keep an eye on that Roy. How do you say it? Hello. He's got nice hands.
He does.
Really looked explosive out of the backfield.
All them soft hands.
For those of you who own Alfred Morris, you might want to take a look at backing him up with Hello.
Forgive my giddiness, because as of 2 minutes ago, we literally conducted a three-way trade before we went live.
It was impressive.
A 9-player deal that included Drew Brees, so I'm a little giddy.
I can't believe I'm giving up Drew Brees.
But you got some horsepower.
I'm hurting. He gave me some good numbers.
If I can chime in with a little bit of strategy here, Pernsky happens to be 4-0. Now, for you 4-0, for you 4-0 teams, you think you're going to make the playoffs, you might want to start making some moves that make your playoff weeks look better from a fantasy perspective.
It's a good call, Joey D.
Absolutely. I think that's what you got to do. I'm 4-0 in the league, and I'm starting to look at weeks 14, 15, 16.
As an example, one of the members of our trade was Steven Jackson, who Ronaldo needs to win this week. S-Jax is probably out 3-4 more weeks, maybe more. I don't need him now, so I'm going to stash him. Hopefully when it comes time for the playoff run, I stick him in there as my flex. So good deal for me. Gave him some players he can start right now. So anyway, let's get on to...
and the moral of the story is don't be afraid to trade those big players. Blockbuster deals going on here.
He just got rid of Drew Brees and is giddy like a school kid because you got new players. Trades are what, if you love the draft, a trade is like a draft every week. You get a new player, a new shiny toy to watch. I got new guys to watch this week in both leagues, and I can't wait because it's like I just had the draft.
I was excited to be a part of it. I was excited.
All right, what do we got, Director?
We got buy, sell, and we're going to go down through some names. We're going to start off with Ray Rice.
Ray Rice is my man from Rutgers, Jersey boy. I'm selling Ray Rice. I don't like that hip injury. Bernard Pierce breathing down his neck. They look like a throwing team all of a sudden. Flacco throwing 5 picks. Torrey Smith's a stud. I'm selling Ray Rice.
I got to agree. Normally when a first-round pick, his value's this low, I say buy, but his value's this low for a reason. I'm not touching him.
Well, just think, when everybody thinks that his value is low, I'm the guy that's going to go ahead and buy him. Because I'm going to wait, like Jake just talked about, you want to have that long-term deal, so I'm going to buy it.
If you can get a good deal, you can buy him. I mean, he's got value, but not a lot.
Doug Martin.
Now, I'll take the opposite perspective with that. Doug Martin's getting 25 touches a week. He's the workhorse running back. He's got no one behind him really looking at touches taken away from him. Little tricky with the offense there. Glennon coming in at quarterback. A mess with Freeman. My man Schiano, ex-Rutgers guy. I'm buying Doug Martin.
Got to agree with Joey D again. Again, I'd say if you can get a good price for him, just remember 5 weeks ago, he was a top 3 overall pick in the entire league. Think about that. Think of what you could get him for. I hear talks now, people trading their wide receiver 2 for Doug Martin. If you can get him for something like that, I'd say buy.
3 buys then. I'm right with you.
Well, Director, that has something personal to you with Doug Martin, doesn't it?
Just got him.
And he got him for a song, so well done. Bought him low. Let's, yeah.
Reggie Bush,
you got to buy the guy. I mean, unbelievable game. I think he continues to have an excellent year, and I got to say buy. Whenever you got a running back that can always catch the ball out of the backfield, that's always a buy.
You know, I've got a philosophy. I have to watch a game with a player before, if he's a big-name player, and I watch Reggie Bush, I'm buying him. I mean, the guy looks like he just got out of college. He's quick. They're using him a ton. He's touching the ball, and in an electric offense like that with so many weapons, a guy who touches the ball as many times as he does is going to get in the end zone. I'm buying Reggie Bush.
I'm holding Reggie Bush, and I'll tell you why. Just like
idiot.
everybody's saying, he's getting 22 to 25 touches. He's a small guy.
Yeah.
The offense is made for him. If you have Reggie Bush, you Reggie Bush owners, make sure you got his backup, because his backup is a stud, Joik Bell.
Joik Bell,
He's
just
a
like
Joik.
his name.
I'm saying Reggie's not going to stay healthy the whole year.
Matt Stafford, his quarterback.
Let's start with the Stafford owner.
I'm buying Stafford for the same reasons Pern talked about. High-powered offense, weapons like Reggie Bush, Calvin Johnson. Nate Burleson is hurt, but he's still there. Ryan Broyles is a stud slot receiver. Pettigrew's there. Offensive philosophy is throw through. He threw the ball 700 times last year. I'm still buying Matt Stafford.
Stafford in our league, I think, was the 8th quarterback drafted. You know, you didn't have to pay a high price to get him. Depending on what the owner wants now, the owner may have lofty expectations, so it's all a matter of what you can get him for. But if you can get Matt Stafford without crippling your team, absolutely, I'd say buy him.
Yeah, I got to go by too. I got him in my other league, and he's doing awesome. Not throwing as many interceptions as he threw last year, so I'm buying him.
Andre Johnson.
I just sold Andre Johnson, who was my third-round pick in my other league, my Washington league. Shout out to those guys. I sold him with hesitation. I got Torrey Smith for him. There were some other players involved who I love, by the way, Torrey Smith. So the owner who bought him said, hey, look, Andre Johnson is still Andre Johnson. He hasn't scored yet this year, so he's gambling that it's time for him to get in the end zone. He is getting a lot of looks.
Absolutely. I'm going to hold on Andre as well. I can't buy or sell him because he's so explosive. But Arian Foster looks like the Arian Foster of old last week. He's fighting him for touches now. You got DeAndre Hopkins. You got Owen Daniels and this Garrett Graham tight end. 2 tight ends who are getting 6 targets a game. A lot of balls to go around over there, but their schedule coming up looks brutal.
Yeah.
Well, and with that being said, I'm not sold on Matt Schaub. You know, with all those weapons, does he get as many touches that you think he's going to get? It doesn't matter how, great of a player he is. If he can't get the touches, it doesn't matter. So I'm selling.
Now, if I'm a GM on an NFL team, I'm buying Andre Johnson. He's a freak, but fantasy-wise, yeah.
Well, let's go down through some games, talk about who you think is going to win and some fantasy implications. We'll start off with New Orleans at Chicago.
New Orleans just picked up Jay Cutler from this great trade I just made. But at the end of the day, there are going to be a lot of points being thrown. It doesn't matter who wins the game, but a lot of points will be put up. So I think at the end of the day, that'll be a great fantasy pick for either team.
I think, who do you like to win?
New Orleans. I forgot about that. I'm thinking about my Jay Cutler trade.
I tell you what, Bears coming off a loss, New Orleans on the road, but I'm going to say this. New Orleans is a 1-point underdog. That's insane. I like New Orleans to win that game.
I like New Orleans too. Drew Brees and company, 30 a game no matter who you play. But what I like about New Orleans the most is their defense. Their defense is for real. They're averaging 15 points a game giving up. Easy math. You score 30 a game, give up 15, you're not going to lose the rest of the season.
And from the newest Breeze owner, I hope they score 60.
You just got license plates made, Breeze on it.
How about New England? New England at Cincinnati.
Don't look now, but Tom Brady's not dead, huh?
Yeah, he's getting his weapons back. Amendola's supposed to come back. Gronk's got to be coming back the next couple of weeks. They went to Atlanta, almost blew the game, but their game plan was easy, to hold the ball. Brady threw 9 times in the first half.
9 times.
9
Rushed the
times.
ball well.
Unheard of. Clock control. They're going to do the same thing to Cincinnati. New England's for real. I pick a New England.
Look, Tom Brady's 4-0 without any of his weapons. I can't even imagine what's going to happen when he's mad, he's motivated. I feel bad for Cincinnati this week. This one's all New England.
I agree, man. They find a way to win every week.
How about Detroit at Green Bay?
Detroit at Green Bay. It's in Green Bay, home field advantage. Green Bay, they got to get a win. They've been on the bye, so I look for Green Bay to get this one.
Yeah, the worst thing that Detroit has to deal with is that Aaron Rodgers and company have had 2 weeks to work on this game.
Yeah.
So they had a knockdown drag out last week. Detroit did. Meanwhile, Green Bay was was at home practicing. So this one could get ugly early. Aaron Rodgers is going to chuck it all over the place. I like Green Bay.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with Detroit. I don't think Green Bay has an answer for Reggie Bush. I think Reggie Bush is going to have a huge day. They don't have an answer also either for Calvin Johnson. Chucking the ball, it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Sue's going to put Aaron Rodgers on his back 3 times. There's no offensive line help for Rodgers.
Now that I might agree with.
He's going to be running for his life the whole game.
All right, Giants fan. Philadelphia at the Giants.
Do they get off the schneid?
Mark it down. Lead pipe, cold lock, whatever it's called. Giants will win this game against Philadelphia. Absolutely. Victor Cruz will be doing a lot of salsa dancing. And Knicks finds the end zone this week.
I agree. I agree. They get off the snide and they go ahead and get the win. I know Coughlin, he's that type of guy, so I think he's going to
Only 2 games out of first.
Over under 55.5 points. Put in all your Giants, put in all your Eagles. And how about, by the way, halftime of week 1, Chip Kelly was looking like Vince Lombardi, and if they lose, they're looking at 1-4. How quickly the mighty fall with their whole new system, the run and gun or whatever you want to call it.
You could be looking at a Nick Foles sighting. Also, David Wilson goes deep for a touchdown, a long run this weekend.
3 for the Giants. How about that?
How about Denver at Dallas?
Highest rated game of the year by far. Again, another high score. It's funny, Denver sort of shifts their focus each week. One week, Welker's going to score 2-3 times. I think Demaryius Thomas goes kind of crazy, and I think you're going to see the tight end Julius Thomas in this one just based on history with Dallas and them struggling against the tight end. So big game again for Peyton Manning. If you got Romo, this is a great week to start him if you haven't been. I like Tony Romo this week too.
Absolutely, you got to go Denver. I think the weapons, Thomas and company, Welker, Decker, they don't have much of a running game, but when they need to run, they're effective.
Do they have running backs on their roster?
Exactly, it's unbelievable.
I'm not sure if they do.
And they're only going to get better as their defense gets healthy.
Well, I got
scary.
Well, I got to agree with all of you guys on that. It's 3 for us with Denver. And hey, that's another episode of Fantasy Game Plan. Have fun this week. Be safe. Keep it classy.